It was supposed to be just another peaceful afternoon in the neighborhood, a time when birds chirped lazily and the golden sun spilled warmth over every front yard. But the calm shattered with a sudden, desperate cry. A German shepherd, known by everyone for his playful loyalty, had gotten his head stuck between the iron bars of a metal gate. His frantic yelps echoed down the street, drawing neighbors out of their homes. But no one could have imagined that help wouldn't come from the adults frantically calling for tools, but from a tiny figure who could barely speak a word, where children played on sidewalks and families waved from porches. Inside that home lived a small family: Emma, a young mother, her 1-year-old daughter Lily, and their loyal German shepherd, Max. Max wasn't just a pet, he was family. Ever since Lily was born, Max had become her silent guardian, always watching over her crib, nuzzling her hand when she cried, impatiently letting her tug at his ears. Their bond was something magical, unspoken, pure. On that warm afternoon, Emma had opened the back gate to grab a delivery. Lily sat on the porch playing with blocks, and Max, curious and alert as always, followed Emma, his eyes locked on the street beyond. As Emma turned her back for just a moment, Max spotted something that caught his attention. Maybe a squirrel darting across the lawn, or a passing dog on the sidewalk. With the instincts of a protector, Max lunged forward, pressing his nose between the narrow metal bars of the gate. But before he could back away, he realized he was stuck. His strong head, now wedged tightly, wouldn't budge. He let out a sharp bark, then another more urgent cry. The panic set in quickly. Emma spun around, dropping the package as she rushed to Max's side. "Oh no, Max! Stay still, boy!" she pleaded, her voice trembling. The iron bars were cold, unforgiving, and far too narrow for his head. Emma pulled gently, then harder, but Max yelped in pain. The realization hit her like a wave. Her beloved dog was trapped, and she couldn't free him. Emma's heart pounded as she crouched beside Max, her hands trembling. She tried everything: soothing whispers, tugging the bars gently, even pouring soapy water on his neck to ease the tension. But nothing worked. Max whimpered louder now, his paws scraping helplessly against the concrete. Each sound cut through Emma like a knife. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked around, desperate for help. Neighbors began to gather, alerted by the commotion. Mr. Reynolds from next door arrived with a wrench, while another neighbor called animal rescue. Yet with each passing second, Max's breathing grew quicker, more panicked. His ears were flat against his head, his body stiff with fear. Everyone tried offering suggestions, twisting the bars, pushing his shoulders back, using cooking oil, but all efforts failed. A few children watched silently, clinging to their parents' legs. Emma's thoughts raced. What if they couldn't free him in time? What if he hurt himself trying to pull away? The air grew heavier with worry, and the once peaceful neighborhood now buzzed with tension. In all the noise and movement, no one noticed the tiniest witness nearby, watching, quietly clutching a stuffed bear. In the midst of the chaos, shouts, clanging tools, frantic footsteps, little Lily sat quietly on the porch, her chubby fingers gripping her worn-out teddy bear. Her big round eyes watched everything, especially Max. She didn't understand why everyone was so loud, but she could feel it. Something was wrong with her best friend. She dropped the bear and slowly got to her feet, her wobbly steps unnoticed by the adults caught in panic. She toddled down the steps, crossing the yard with quiet determination. As Emma shouted instructions to a neighbor, she didn't notice Lily moving closer to Max. The German shepherd's eyes met the baby's, and something in him stilled. His frantic whimpers softened. Lily reached out with both hands, placing them gently on Max's snout, and leaned her tiny forehead against his. The crowd went silent. It was as if time paused. Max's breathing slowed, his body relaxed under her touch. She didn't speak a word, but her presence said everything. "I'm here. You're safe." That innocent, fearless act, so simple yet profound, shifted something in the air. The adults stood frozen, their eyes wet with emotion. This baby, barely able to walk, had done what no one else could. She calmed the heart of a frightened soul. Emma finally noticed the sudden silence and turned, her heart skipping as she saw Lily standing face to face with Max. Panic shot through her. What if Max jerked or accidentally hurt her in his fear? She rushed forward but stopped short when she saw Max's expression. He wasn't struggling anymore. His eyes, moments ago filled with panic, now softened. Lily's tiny hand still rested on his muzzle, and for the first time since getting stuck, Max stopped trembling. That moment of stillness gave one of the neighbors an idea. He's calm now. Maybe we can shift his head slightly? Mr. Reynolds spoke quietly, as though afraid to break the spell. Moving slowly, he kneeled beside Max, careful not to disturb Lily. With delicate fingers, he tilted Max's head ever so slightly while Emma gently pushed from the other side. With a soft pop, Max's head slipped free. Gasps filled the air. Emma dropped to her knees, hugging Max tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks. Lily clapped her hands, giggling, unaware of the miracle she'd just sparked. The entire neighborhood stood in stunned silence. What they just witnessed was more than luck. It was the unexplainable, powerful bond between a baby and her best friend. Emma scooped Lily into her arms, hugging her close, tears still streaming down her face. She kissed her daughter's forehead, whispering, "You saved him, sweetheart. You really saved him." Max sat beside them, tail gently wagging, his eyes never leaving Lily's face. He gave a soft whine, then licked her tiny foot as if to say thank you in his own way. The neighbors were speechless. A few clapped quietly, others wiped their eyes. No one could deny the overwhelming emotion that had swept through them. It wasn't just relief, it was awe. How could a baby, so small and unaware, have made such a difference? Yet there she was, the calm in the chaos. Mr. Reynolds smiled, shaking his head. "That little girl has magic in her," he murmured. And maybe he was right, because in that moment, everyone present felt something they hadn't in a long time: hope, purity, and the silent power of love.